Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today about Miss Candox Owens, the queen who could do no and say no wrong for the conservative black movement, the Miss Blexit power queen who was told to cease and desist but didn't, the one who is supposedly an anti-bully proponent, yet her social autopsy website was bullying left and right, and she bullies left and right. This woman who the conservative plantation says can do no wrong and say no wrong and is always right, and you're misconstruing her words, that Miss Candox Owens. I want to talk about Miss Candace Owens and her recent statements regarding Hitler, Germany, and globalism, nationalism. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on a response that I did to Anthony Brian Logan's recent video defending her, where he basically brings up certain statements that weren't specific to the issues that people have. So again, TPUSA, TPUK, you guys are still defending. You guys are losing your credibility. You guys always lose your credibility. You're doing what the mainstream media is doing right now, losing your credibility by not calling out the shit. I mean, at least within the open internet community, when people call out our shit, we take ownership of it. But when you start to become a group that is focused on earning money and supposedly bringing, change in the conservative movement here, you have to do everything in your power to defend your own. It's sad. This is why I hope this doesn't change, and please quote me on it and call me out on it if it ever happens. Sorry, my cat is meowing over here. This is why I can't stand organizations. This is why I don't trust organizations. Movements, organizations, news outlets. I tend to like to get the words from, get my news and information from content creators. Content creators I trust, and then I'll go do my own research on my own. I'll look up some of the fabricated news on MSM News, whether it's leftist or rightist or whatever, and then I'll go into more independent sites and try to get a good understanding of a situation. That's how I base my things off of. I don't join a group and be tied down to that group like these guys with Turning Point USA. And then if ever any of them do anything wrong or say something wrong, like Candace keeps doing consistently, I don't have to defend anybody. I think it sounds like they're because of the movement, they're contractually obligated to defend these statements or try to do some damage control. Maybe not contractually, but maybe they feel an obligation to, because it's their friend. And he even disclosed that it's her friend. But here's the problem with that. Yeah, you're saying that you're going to be you gave your points on this video, but you didn't bring up the specific statement that was the issue. Yeah, you filmed it, but you didn't discuss it. You discussed other things that were nothing burgers. You discussed other things that were words. You made word salad out of the whole thing. And then at the end, you said, at the end of the day, this just proves that Candace Owens, everybody misinterpreted her. No, she's not taking ownership of certain things. She's not taking ownership of any of her responses, of her response during that Q&A. And even her Twitter response, that 3 to 4 minute video, no, she's blaming everybody else. Again, she tends to blame everybody else for her actions, and she says that, oh no, it's just BuzzFeed, it's this, and it's just so misleading, it's trash news. Again, defend yourself. Defend those words, Candace. Defend those words. There are people that are going to fall for that shit, but then there's those of us who want to look through it and hopefully spread the right information to other people who actually believe your shit and say, no, this is dangerous. We do have to call her out on her shit. Let's see if it happens. So I'm just going to kind of go down my statement that I gave to Anthony Brian Logan. It was pretty lengthy, and we'll go from here. So ABL, her statements were completely stupid, and the specific statement itself speaks volumes. You bring up the portion of her statement separating nationalism away from Hitler and Hitler's ideals as the basis of your argument that we are misconstruing her words, that us are misconstruing her words, that MSM is misconstruing her words. But her explanation about the separation was empty and a nothing burger. The meat and potatoes that he did not explain, yes, he played the portion in the video, but he did not explain, was when she brought up the controversial part that is still lacking a clear reason as to what she meant. And below, I'm letting him know, below is exactly what she said, and unlike what you brought up, is actually the part that is the hot topic button. Statement. This is the statement that Candace said. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. That's the part we'll focus on, but let me go ahead and complete this part. The problem is that he wanted and he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. Okay, let's talk about the okay fine part, where she can't be let off the hook for that one. Hitler had a hierarchy. Hitler had a system. Hitler knew what he wanted. Yeah, he wanted to globalize or whatever, but it was more or less about just being in power. But, and again, I probably have that portion wrong, but what I don't have wrong is this. He's killed more than just Jews. He's killed gypsies. He's killed Poles. He's killed gays, elderly, disabled. There were people he saw that were unfit to live, and the list goes on and on and on. And I'm not sure if I said Poles, but yeah, he's killed quite a bit of people trying to eradicate these people. And what you're saying is that it's okay to that he did it within his own country. Again, what any leaders do in their own country obviously is their own business. However, you're saying that you defend the actions here. This is the answer that I think the majority of people are seeing, and you're not explaining yourself. This is not okay to defend. This is not okay for Anthony Brian Logan to defend and leave out in his argument. And at the 3-minute mark of this video that he published defending her, he states that she didn't say that at all. Okay, unless she explains this comment, which she hasn't really. She gave a lame excuse in her Twitter live stream. It's like stating that she's okay with Germany performing mass genocide within Germany. This is where one of the major concerns lies for those of us that are criticizing her. Now, do I personally feel like she is okay with this? I don't think so. Do I feel that she was stupid in her remarks and that she's trying to cover it up by twisting what she meant after the fact, after this video has been surfaced? Yes, I think she's trying to do what she always does, dodge responsibility. Dodge responsibility. That's all she's good for, because she's got to look pure. She's got to be can do no wrong Candox Owens. That's what she is at this point to you guys. But we see through the bullshit and we're calling it out, and you get upset at us because these are valid points. And again, you are not addressing those valid points, which Anthony Brian Logan, I've been following you since you were probably at like, I think 40,000 subscribers. You're big now. You're big in the content creator world. And since you started taking sides, you in this case right here specifically, you've been losing credibility. And it's obvious that yes, she's your friend and she can say no wrong. Look, I have some friends. Look, okay, one instance for me. Thomas Ellington. I'm not calling him out, but I mean, I consider him an internet friend as well. You know, I've never met the guy, but him and I worked a lot together on the Kilroy scenario, the Kilroy free speech event in 2018, and he was the one that motivated me to go to the event and film it and live stream it, and so I did. And he ended up doing some things later on down the line where there was an uncovered audio about him and his wife arguing, and some of his other co-hosts from another show, 3 of them in particular, started saying, hey, you know, you need to stop, cool it on the drinking, cool it on this, cool it on that. And I even looked at it neutrally and said, look, you know, you gotta, I like Thomas Ellington, I still do, but I had to, from what I saw, I felt I had to be honest, even though these people are considered friends, whatever, or online friends, or whatever you want to call them, people that you like. You got to call people out on their shit. And I'm not saying I called Thomas out on his shit, but I mean, I felt I had to be honest about how I saw the whole situation and give my 2 cents. You are not doing that. You're too afraid to do that. And that's the part where you lose your credibility. So yes, that's one example of where, and people need to call me out on stuff that they find, and people do, and then I'll pin their comments to the top of some of my videos if they have called me out some shit. It's happened, and I'm okay with it. I don't have an ego. Your egos are killing you. Your egos kill your movement. This is why movements don't work. This is why movements are temporary. Everybody forgets about them and moves on to the next best thing. The best thing you should be focusing on is actually changing the individual's mind, or not even changing the individual's mind. You have to just show them, let them be who they are, not be part of a movement, a profiting movement. Just let them flourish in their heads. Give them information. That's what this is for. Why do you think I haven't, and maybe I'll do this in the future, I don't know, but I have not profiting from any of my videos. Now granted, I just passed over 1,000 just recently, so thank you to all my subscribers on that. And some of my subscribers, sometimes they like my content, sometimes they don't, but that's what it's about. You're never going to appease everybody. And Anthony Brian Logan, yeah, you might have gotten this far, and she got this far as well, but you have to just be honest with your people. You might lose me as a subscriber. I've never unsubbed from anybody, but you might be losing me as a subscriber if you keep up with this. Be honest, be fair, call her out on her shit. And to the average viewer who likes your content, and I love your content. I mean, you are like my top 3. You're my top 3. I love your content, but I'm calling you out on your shit. If I feel sorry for the people that actually don't question you. I feel sorry for the bandwagoners who are just like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm not going to question. I'm not going to look between the lines here. I'm looking between the lines. I'm being straight up with you, and I'm being straight up with the whole situation. You are going on the wrong alley with defending her in these things. You need to just look at her and say, hey, look, I'm a friend. I love you. I'm calling you out on your shit right now, and you need to address this appropriately. Was it an innocent gaffe that she made? Yes, of course it was. It was an innocent gaffe. I don't believe she likes Hitler. I don't think she even praises him or anything. But she's not owning up to it. She's twisting the words. She's making everybody else look like they're wrong and like they're idiots. No, she is the idiot here, and she needs to own up to it. So moving on. Then it was the problem is he had dreams outside of Germany. Now, unless she clarifies this, which she has not, this part solidifies the fact that she is okay with their personal decisions of mass genocide, just so long as it doesn't expand outside of Germany. Now, again, a complete hypocrite with Turning Point USA branching off into Turning Point UK. Don't like globalism? Okay, whatever, dude. It's crazy the hypocrisy. Crazy the hypocrisy this group gives. So, in her defense, like I mentioned a little while ago, which is very minimal, she has minimal defense here. It was an off-the-cuff statement. It was an off-the-cuff remark. She was unprepared and probably just gave ignorant, stupid statements without thinking. It's typical. We expect that from her. I expect it from her, and I expect her to just get all crazy and yell and everything when she's proven wrong. You know, she did that with Blair White. She's done that to Tommy Loren. You know, she does that to a lot of people. She does it to people she argues with on Fox News, where, you know, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Yelling doesn't win arguments, and you got to be right. Okay. What keeps making it worse for Candace and TPUSA, and unfortunately, Anthony, your credibility for honesty and integrity, because none of you want to be honest and learn the lessons when she does this stuff and address her gaffes honestly, is her once again contradicting her statements in her Twitter responses about the incident. And again, once again, you come to her defense. You and everybody from Turning Point USA, you're gonna have all of your. I'm gonna be watching. I know this is gonna happen. I'm gonna be watching a Brandon Tatum video. God, you made me angry. God, you made me angry. I love this girl and this and that. And she's right and you're wrong. I know I'm going to see that here very shortly. I used to like the guy. I think I'm off that bandwagon now. I think I liked it for about a month or two. He has great views. Don't get me wrong. He has great views. But again, when you can't call out your own, you lose credibility in my book. You're again focusing on the irrelevant parts of the statement versus the specific portions that I noted. That specific portion. In his video, at the 5:10 mark, he starts saying things about, people who are anti-Candace Owens. They just want to hate her for hating her, whatever. I am not a Candox Owens fan. I am in the least, at all. I can see through the bullshit. But I provide those I criticize with a fair view as well. Sorry, I'm getting some notices on here. The people that I hate, I will research. I will look to see, okay, why are people upset about this scenario here? I will give them their fair share. I will give them a fair shake. I have looked into this issue before making any sort of a judgment on Candace regarding this. I've watched Tree of Logic's live stream in regards to it. I've watched her video response in regards to it. I've watched Candace's responses. I've watched your response. We're not just wanting to hate her. We hate her because what she's doing is being a complete fool. She's not taking ownership of anything. That's why we hate her. And yes, Anthony, some of us out here do give her a chance. I've given her a lot of chances. And every single time, she always loses. She loses. She loses her credibility. She loses everything. You basically, again, just said that that we want to say that she's wrong without doing our research. She thrusts herself into these messes, not us. We don't do it. She does it. She has to take responsibility for the things that she says. I'm not going to take responsibility. I'm not going to be labeled somebody who just hates her and says that she's going to be wrong about everything by you or anybody else who defends her. No, she does this herself. She does it herself. Again, like I said, I expect Brandon Tatum to come out defending her shortly as well. Heck, Amazing Lucas and David Harris Jr. might do so at this rate. I do believe... No, David Harris did not. Not yet. This here is TPUSA damage control stuff. And it is what the MSM does to defend themselves time and again whenever one of theirs is caught in some crossfire and they have something, they say something bad, they do something bad. 9 times out of 10, the MSM goes and flocks and defends their own, does some damage control, and does everything to protect their pack. TPUSA, you're doing this right here. You are no different. You are no better than MSM at this point, in my opinion. You're trying to save your brand, which you are part of in some capacity. I don't know if it's financial, contractual, or just that you have a vested interest or some sort of an interest with TPUSA. But, and from what you say so far, it's just that you want to see the conservative movement with blacks, you know, transition over from the left to the right. I can commend you trying. I can't. I can't commend you with the deceit here, with the turning of this information, and it never ends. And you keep defending her versus putting her on blast when she does this stuff. Put her on blast. She's done the same thing with the social autopsy situation. She's never taken ownership of it. She's never taken ownership of it. She says, oh no, everybody's misconstruing this and everybody's misconstruing that. No. You know, it really took Tree of Logic, Andy Worski. It took a lot of people actually calling her out on her bullshit, Blair White. And she still doesn't admit it. She's got the face and the personality to appease people who don't want to think for themselves. And so they're going to believe her, and she's thrust into this position. I side with the other people who have actually tried to have her just say, hey, admit guilt. There's nothing wrong with admitting guilt. Nothing wrong. You take it the hard route, like Mundane Matt did last year, and it's forced out of you. You take the hard route like Tonkasaw did earlier this year, and make excuses after excuse after excuse, then that's when it's bad. But when you get called out on shit, again, the social autopsy situation, no, you had to go in the Rupin report and just make yourself look like a fool, like a bumbling fool, but you gained an audience who was ignorant, who didn't want to see the truth, who loved a strong black woman. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. You don't take ownership. You did the exact same thing with Blexit and Kanye situation. Try to twist the words. Oh, I didn't say this about the clothing line. I didn't say this about anything. You did. It was uncovered, but your fans still love you. And then you have, oh my God, those shirts are so ugly. It's like they're like damage to the eyes. Whoever puts the... You need a color wheel. You definitely need a color wheel, lady. Those colors are just ridiculous. I can see why. Just the colors alone, I can see why Kanye decided to bust out and just leave. So you lied about him actually being the one who designed all this stuff. Clear cut out in the open. Go watch my other video with the original footage of where she says that. And then you tell me if I'm wrong or if she's wrong. And yeah, and then the Blexit cease and desist. Again, you literally stole pretty much their logo and whatnot. I think that the initial Blexit movement was supposed to be for I can't remember the guy's name who was shot by the officer in his vehicle, and then other people thereafter. And yeah, there was supposed to be a cease and desist. From what I understand, you're supposed to be sued here shortly because you kept continuing with it. I'm not sure if the hashtag Blexit LA at the very end was something that saved you. I don't know. But you continue with Blexit. And we'll see what happens with that. But again, you're not taking ownership of anything here. You always have to be right. You're God. Let's worship you. You're doing the exact same thing here. You did it with Tree. Tree's life was in jeopardy. Tree of Logic's life was in jeopardy. You didn't give a shit. And you called her what did you call her? You said she was cracked up. You said you knew she was a crackhead. You said you knew she was in the Rubin report. Those words came out of your mouth. Oh, I didn't say any of this. I didn't do any of that. My God, girl. My God. You are just so full of your shit. And you don't care if other people go down just so long as you're right. This is why you're despised by us. And still, even that, ABL, you are incorrect. We gave her a chance. I researched this whole thing before I passed judgment about the situation. And I'm even giving her a smidgen of benefit of the doubt, saying that it was off the cuff and that she doesn't really believe this. That's an assumption, though, because her words say otherwise. So, look, you might think that just because we hate her, we want to see her fall. We don't want to see her fall. We just want to, well, I'm not sure if that's really the right phrase. We want to see her being called out on her shit, not held up high in some pedestal. Do you know what breaks parties? Do you know what breaks movements? When people are found out. When people are found out. And you know what breaks credibility as well of the people that support people that get called out? Their credibility gets ashamed as well. ABL, it's getting to that point, dude. You can have friends. You can be friends with these people. But if you really love and truly care about people and a movement, then you really just got to start being honest before this train wreck just kills you, kills the whole movement, and kills what you guys are trying to do. It's not illogical. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Okay. So when we can call one another out on anything and everything, from those we love and those we despise, is the day that we can start progressing. I live by that. Until then, this defense of her gaffe is just a setback once again. You got to rise above this. You got to rise above this. One other thing you mentioned was that this is like the Ben Shapiro baby Hitler remark. Completely different. Completely different. Hitler as a child was not a threat. Shapiro defended the innocence of the child and the right to live, and to probably see if they could foretell the future, that they would take him out of that lifestyle, take him out of the environment that he was in. Hitler as an adult is a threat. Candace okayed, admittedly via gaffe, not outright that she liked him or liked what he was doing, but as a gaffe. She blames others for misinterpreting what she said versus taking ownership of it. Candace okayed his actions, Hitler's actions, so long as it didn't leave Germany. That's the vision that people are getting right now. Two completely different scenarios between Shapiro's explanation and hers. One's a baby, one's an adult with an understanding of the world and a self-understanding, a self-motivated movement of what he believed needed to be done in eradication, genocides, I should say. So no, ABL, there's absolutely no comparison between the two. False logic there. Horrible logic. Horrible comparison. Calling you out on it. Okay, so those are my thoughts on this. That was my response to Anthony Brian Logan. This is, and I added some things in there as well. What are your guys' thoughts with Candace Owens? I know there's going to be a lot of people who do follow me who like her, and I appreciate your insight as well, you know, trying to defend her. As you can see, I'm not saying that she is... I don't like her. I don't like her as a person. I think she is a very conniving, evil, opportunistic woman. I think she's horrible. But you still give horrible people the benefit of the doubt. You still try to look at their perspectives and see if you can make sense of it all and try to come to a conclusion that is 100% exactly what happened. And I did. I feel like I did. I still have questions, obviously. I want to know what the initial question that was asked of her, not from her mouth, but from the actual footage, from the person who actually orated it, or who asked the question. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, but I still say, I'm calling all you guys out on your shit. I'm calling her out on her shit because she likes to twist it on everybody else who's wrong. She likes to twist it on MSM. Yeah, you can. BuzzFeed is bad, of course, but doesn't mean that they can't be right. They can be right sometimes. Everybody can be right sometimes. Hillary can be right sometimes. Trump can be right sometimes. Everybody can be right sometimes, and wrong, Doesn't matter where the information comes from. That's stupid to look at it that way. Oh, because it's coming from Tree, it's wrong? No, you guys are so stupid when you think that way. Call it out for what it is. But my subscribers, the people who comment below, understand. I mean to say, I like that you guys understand where I'm coming from, and you guys bring in your own 2 cents. You bring in more information. You bring in a counter argument. I love that. I love that because then you grow as a person. You grow with more understanding. If there's somebody who can give me more information as to maybe the video is out there, the surface that asks the question, and it clarifies the whole thing, and Candace is 100% vindicated, by all means, put it on there. I'll pin it to the top. It's great. But if not, defend her actions and try to give a valid argument. Let's see where it goes from here. One of the things I can't really forgive is when you look at the story between her and Tree. She literally didn't care that she realistically could have gotten Tree killed with the social autopsy website. You don't care. You don't think responsibly. It's you or nobody else, Candace. And that's the part that's very frustrating. Anyways, like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Leave a comment below. Peace out.